Hey, welcome back students. Moving on to another area in algebra. That's to find out the terms, expression and the equations. Hope that all of you are able to grasp the concept on coming up with a formula in general pattern. So let's move on. So writing an algebraic expression. So write an expression of the sum of t and g. Bear in mind t and g are algebra. How do you write an expression? So we know that sum is actually to add, isn't it? So t plus g will be the expression. One question I need to ask you. So if someone actually say, is g plus t acceptable? What do you think? Do you think g plus t is acceptable? That's right. You can accept this. Okay. So this is actually called a commutative law. In fact, we will be talking about it later on in this topic. So g plus t is also acceptable. So in this expression, okay, there are few terminology that you need to learn, especially for those people who wants to, move on to methods. You need to know these concepts. Okay, whenever you have an expression, y equals to 3x plus 2 is an expression. Okay, it's an expression and equation here. Equation. So y is an expression, 3x plus 2 is also an expression. So this whole thing is an equation. So a few things that you need to know. So x and y are actually known as the variable. Okay, why do we use algebra? Because algebra represents a number. We can always change a number. That's why it's called a variable. It varies. Okay, and then what about 3? 3 is actually called the coefficient. Quite a weird word, isn't it? If you find it weird and difficult to understand, remember, name your child after it. Coefficient. Sounds like a good name for a child. And 2, not associated with any algebra, so we call it the constant because it doesn't change. It's constant. Okay? So bear in mind the terminology. Sometimes I will be using them when I go through the lesson. So they say, now you are supposed to come up with an expression with the statement given. Y represents any number, right? Expression 5 times that number. So 5 times that number is 5y. Simple as that. They say 2 less than that number. So if the number is y, 2 less than that will be y minus 2. 8 more than the number. So y is the number, 8 more than the number means y plus 8. 8 plus y is also acceptable, right? Remember, it's the commutative law. They say the number divided by 4 or the quotient of y and 4. Okay, number is divided by 4. Y divided by 4. Remember, we don't see multiplication and division sign, so you actually have y over 4 as the answer. What is the next consecutive number? If y is the number, what's the next one? So after it, it's just a difference of 1, so that's why it's y plus 1. I have a question to check with you now to test you. They say, what about this question? If y is an even number, write the expression of the next even number. That's right. You need to actually add 2 to it, isn't it? Because if y is an even number, the next one will be plus 2 to it. That's right. The next even number will be y plus 2. Okay? Would there be any change if it's odd? Think about it. Okay? Good. Let's move on. Add a number to another number. So let's call this x and y then. Okay? But a. So one number add on to another, x plus y. Multiply the two numbers at xy. Remember, I don't use times xy. That's all. Okay? We don't write x times y. You say add 2 numbers and multiply the answer by 6. So add 2 numbers, x plus y, then times 6 means you got to put 6 outside. 6 holding bracket x plus y. Multiply a number by 4, then subtract 8 from it. So let's use x as the answer, the number. So 4x minus 8. Okay, got it? So this one is a little bit tricky. They say 15 is added to a number and the result is 21. So 15 add on to the number. Let's call it x again. 15 plus x equals to 21. Next one, the quotient of a number and 7 is equals to 5. So some of you have already forgotten what's the quotient and so and so forth, isn't it? So the number is here. So the quotient is 5. Okay. And the number is 7. So now it's x equals to 5 times 7. That's the number. Oh. So x over 5 equals to 7, or sometimes, or you can also put it x over 7 equals to 5. So many different ways that you can present this answer. Okay, complete this questions on exercise 8.5. Moving on, simplifying and the distributive law. Okay, it's quite an easy topic. So how do you go about simplifying the rules? Okay, are we able to actually add oranges with apples? They are unlike fruits, isn't it? So you can't add them together. So same thing for algebra. You must make sure they are of like terms, then you can add or subtract them together. Okay. So looking at this, are we able to simplify 2xy plus 4yx? Remember, this is actually the commutative law. You can just swap them around. They are the same actually. So 2xy is the same as 4. Xy is the same as yx. So you just need to change them around. Then you actually get 2xy plus 4xy. You get 6xy. How about the next one? What about 2xyz plus 4xy? Looks similar, xy and xy here, but this one has a z. So mathematically they are alike because of the z. So you can't simplify. Got it? Okay. Let's move on to these examples here. A, 4g plus 6g. Okay, easy. It's 10g. 11a minus ab. Oh, how do I minus it? There's nothing here. There's actually something there, isn't it? There's this invisible coefficient. And the invisible coefficient is 1. That's right. Just like when we write a, we don't write 1a, just a. So the invisible coefficient is 1. So 11ab minus 1ab is 10ab. Got that, everyone? Let's move on. C. 6ad plus 5da. AD, dA, they are the same. So reconfigure it. You get 6ad plus 5ad equals to 11ad. Okay, moving on to D. You have 4t plus 7t minus 5. Let's put all the like terms together, which is 4t plus 7t. You get 11t minus 5 as the answer. Moving on to E. I have 8x plus 3y. Are they like terms? You have apples here, oranges here. So are you able to add the apples and the oranges together? No, you can't. That's the final answer because you can't simplify it as they are unlike. And moving on, next part, simplifying the following expression first and then find the value of the expression by substituting a equals to 4. So let me add the two algebra together. 5a plus 2a is 7a. Then I substitute 4 into the equation. So it's 7 times 4, which is 28. Next, you have 7a minus a plus 5. Remember, there's an invisible 1 here. So 7a minus a, you actually get 6a plus 5. Now I substitute 4 into the equation. 6 times 4 plus 5, which is 24 plus 5. Answer is 29. Okay? So, next one is a little bit more difficult. I think we have not done this before. This is something new. I'll spend slightly more time on it. So, whenever you need to expand, the objective is to actually get rid of the brackets. So, how do you get rid of the brackets? So, you just need to do the expansion. So how do you expand? By looking at this, 4 times 2a is 8a. Next thing again, you draw the other curvy arrow. 4 times d Remember this plus here, 4 times plus d is plus 4d. So that's how it look like when you expand this expression. So far okay? Let me start again. So you expand it one at a time. 4 times 2a, you get 8a. Next thing is 4 times plus d, you get plus 4d. Moving on to the next one. Next, again, I need to draw the curvy arrow. A times 3x, you get 3ax. A times 2y, you get plus 2ay. And that's the expression for this expansion. How about the next one? Again, draw the curvy line. Now you have 3 items here. So you draw 3 curvy lines. 3k, 3 times 4a, so it's plus 12a. Now you have to bear in mind this is a minus here. Plus times minus, you get minus. So 3 times n minus m, you get minus 3m. Just have to bear that in mind, okay? Because this is a plus here, plus 3 times minus. Positive times negative will give you a negative number. That's how I get minus 3m. Okay? All good? Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, so same thing, expansion. So I expand this 4 times 2s, I get 8s. 4 times 3k, I get plus 12k minus 2k. You see, this 4 doesn't belong to here, so that's why it's just simply minus 2k. Okay, it's a standalone, and if you can see, these are like terms here, 12k minus 2k. So that's how I get 8s plus 10k as the answer. Next one. So a times, oh, I actually make a mistake here. Okay, I better change it. So it's a minus here. It's meant to be a minus here. Meant to be a minus here. It's meant to be a minus here. Okay, so sorry about it, guys. Okay. We've gone through this. Now moving on. So again, you have a times 3, you get 3a. A times minus c, that's how you get minus ac. A is standing alone, okay, nothing is associated, you just write plus a. So rearrange again, all the a's together, so you have 3a plus a minus ac. Only a's and a's can be simplified, so it's 3a plus a, you get 4a minus ac, and that's the answer. Okay, so we've come to the end of this expansion activity, so please move on to these questions. Feel free to drop me a Teams note if you need any assistance. Okay, bye-bye.